Hi, in this video we'll be talking about the management of part number formats in the partnumbering.com service. All number format management is conducted in the Number Formats tab here. Before you watch this video or attempt to manage number formats, you should read the part numbering guide. You can download the guide with the link here. This link is in all of the pages found in the Number Formats tab. The part numbering guide discusses many details of the part numbering formats which will not be discussed in this video. This video is intended to help you with the mechanics of managing part number formats in the partnumbering.com service, and it assumes you already understand the theory behind part number formats. The Formats tab lists all of the part numbers that have been created in your account. For each format, it also displays a sample part number and the status, which can be either active or disabled. At this point, there are no part number formats in our account, so let's create one by clicking on the Add a Number Format button. In the form, we give the number format a name and a description. Both of these fields will be shown to the users when they are creating part numbers. Once the number format is created, we are shown the details of this number format. You can get to the details of any number format by clicking on the name of the format from the list. If we go back to the list, there is our number format, and clicking on the name takes us back to the details. When number formats are first created, their status is disabled. Disabled number formats are not shown to users. While a number format is disabled, you can configure it without having to worry about it being visible to users and being used. Also, when number formats are first created, they contain no fields. Once fields are added, they will be shown in this section of the page. Upon creation of a new number format, our next task is to add fields to the format by editing the fields. This is done by clicking the Edit Fields button. Currently, there are no fields associated with our number format. You can add fields of the different types available by clicking on any of the Add buttons shown here. As an example, let's create a simple number format that is slightly descriptive. We'll start by adding a sequence value. This is a local sequence, and the values generated by the sequence will be specific to this number format. Whenever we add a new field to the number format, there will be inputs for the field that describe its specifics. You can get more information about each entry by selecting the input element and looking to the left of the screen as seen here, or by reading the part numbering guide. We'll configure this sequence to be 3 digits in length. Next, we'll add a delimiter, and we'll set the delimiter to be a dash. At this point, there are a couple of important things to note. First, as I manipulate the fields that comprise the part number, the sample number, shown here, is updated. Second, I can delete any field by clicking the delete link in the header of that field. I'll demonstrate this on the delimiter. And now I need to add that back. Third, I can toggle the hiding and showing of the details for any field by clicking the Hide Details or Show Details link in the header for the field. Lastly, notice that as we add new fields, they are shown at the top. This represents the start or the left side of the part number. For that reason, it's often easier to start building up part numbers from the back, but it's very easy to change the order of the fields in the part number. Just click on any field and you can drag it to a different position in the part number. You can drag fields when the details are shown or hidden. Also notice that once a field is moved, the sample value is updated. Getting back to the number format itself, let's go ahead and add a selection element. As described in the part numbering guide, selection elements are used to define pull-down elements that will be shown to the user when creating part numbers. I'll add a label and a description. And lastly, I'll add the values that will be shown to the user in the selection element. To save some time, I'll copy and paste. These entries contain descriptions, which is the text to the right of the double colons. The descriptions are shown to the user if they select any given option. Lastly, I'll add a delimiter to this part number format so that I can recognize it as a fan assembly. Now that I have the fields I want in my number format, I can click on the Save Changes button to save my edits. Once the changes are saved, we are taken back to the details page of our number format. Notice that in the Fields section, it now shows the fields we entered. We can click on the links to show or hide details as needed. If we're happy with our number format, the last step is to activate it so that it can be seen and used by users. We do this by clicking the Edit General Info button, changing the status to active, and then saving our change. Now when users go to create part numbers, this part number format will be available to them. You can continue to edit fields or add or delete fields by clicking the Edit Fields button. Let's try to add a global numbering sequence to our part number format. As you can see, when I try to do this, I get a message telling me that there are no global numbering sequences defined in my account. These types of sequences can be used across multiple number formats, so they are managed independently from any one specific number format. To see and manage global number sequences, I can click on the Global Sequences tab. This tab lists the global numbering sequences created in my account, as well as the number formats that make use of each sequence. At this point, there are none. We can add one by clicking the Add a Sequence button. Since we'll need to refer to these sequences, they need a name and optionally a description. The remaining settings are the same as those for a regular or non-global sequence. Let's make a couple changes here. And then let's create our global sequence. Once the global sequence is created, we are shown the details. As with the number formats, we can get back to these details at any time by clicking on the name of the global sequence from the list. Going to the list, you can see that this sequence is currently not in use, and clicking the name takes us back to the details. We can now go back to the Formats tab, select the number format we created previously, and click the button to edit the fields. Now, when we click the Add Global Sequence button, we can select from any of the global sequences that exist in our account. In our case, this is only one. Below the selection, the details of the global numbering sequence are shown. Since the global sequence is independent of the number format, the details of the sequence cannot be edited here. I want to go ahead and put this to the end of our number format, and I like to add a delimiter between fields. And then I can save my changes. And there you have it. If we go back to the Global Sequences tab, you can see that it now lists the sequence we just created is being used by our part number format. You can create as many part number formats as you like in the partnumbering.com service, and the number formats you create can have as many fields as you like. There are no limitations on usage. That's a quick description on how to manage part number formats in the partnumbering.com service. If you have any further questions, click on the Contact Us link and send us your questions. We'll get back to you with an answer shortly. Thanks for watching.